A new garage door returns 268% of what it costs you. A remodeled bathroom returns 50. Sellers spend on the second one almost every time. These are the 10 things buyers are quietly charging you for, and the order worth fixing them in. Zillow showed more than 4,000 buyers the same house, painted 10 different ways, and asked what they would pay for it. The rooms that pulled the highest offers were not the safe neutral ones. They were the dark ones, and a charcoal gray living room beat the alternatives by about $2,600. Navy blue in a bedroom added about $1,800 to the offer. Olive green in a kitchen added about $1,600. The colors that actually cost sellers money were the bright, friendly, supposedly safe ones, and daisy yellow was the worst offender, pulling close to $4,000 out of a single room. And if you paint the whole house ochre yellow, kitchen, living room, bedroom, and bathroom, those same buyers knocked $18,000 off their offer. Now, this was people scoring photographs, not people closing on houses, so treat the exact dollar figures as soft. The direction of it holds up fine, which brings me to the honest version of this list. Most of these 10 things are not features buyers dislike the way you dislike a bad smell. They are features buyers now attach a specific number to, and in 2026, that number comes straight out of your sale price. And this year, they have the time to do that arithmetic. In June, the typical American home sat 49 days before it went under contract, 3 days longer than a year earlier. Prices are still up about 2% nationally, but the urgency that used to cover for everything is gone. In the softer metros, roughly 1 active listing in 5 is already carrying a price cut. In 2021, a buyer would forgive almost anything to win a bidding war. In 2026, they walk the house twice, read the disclosure, and come back with the contractor's estimate in hand. So, number 1 on the list is the paint color you chose, because it felt cheerful. Bold and personal is not the problem here, which is the part that surprises people. Loud and bright is the problem, and it costs you the most in the kitchen and the living room. The fix is not another coat of builder white either. What the Zillow work shows is that dark, saturated rooms do fine. It does not show that white interiors now hurt you, whatever the trend pieces say. What sells is a room that looks deliberate, rather than a room that looks unfinished. Number 2 is the one sellers get backwards more than anything else on this list. You spend your money inside, where you actually live. Buyers price what they can see from the curb before they have opened the front door, and the gap between those two instincts is enormous. Zonda's cost versus value report tracks 28 projects across the country. Last year, 8 of the top 10 returns were exterior replacements: doors, siding, stone veneer. The big interior remodels sat near the bottom, with a major mid-range kitchen recouping 51% and an upscale bathroom just 42%. And ranked first out of all 28 projects in every one of the 9 American regions was the least glamorous job on the list. A garage door, average cost $4,600, average estimated value at resale $12,500. Nothing else is that lopsided for that little money. One caveat, because it really matters. Those percentages come from asking real estate professionals what they believe a project adds, not from matched pairs of actual sales. So it tells you that agents think curb appeal moves price. It does not mean the door literally appraises for $12,000. Still under number 2. The front door, a new steel entry door, came back at over 200% in the Zonda numbers, and a separate realtor survey put its cost recovery at a flat 100%. That is a weekend of work and a few $100s in hardware. Number 3 is the first one that is genuinely about taste: the popcorn ceiling. I want to be careful here, because the statistic everybody quotes that 40% of buyers are put off by them traces back to no study at all. I went looking, and it simply does not exist. What I can tell you is what removal costs, which is real and documented. A typical job runs between roughly $900 and $3,000, averaging around $2,000. For a whole house, that is one of the cheapest ways to move from dated to neutral, with one enormous asterisk. If the house was built before about 1980, that texture may contain asbestos, and the price jumps from around $1.25 a square foot to as much as $20. A lab test costs about $150. Do the test before you touch it. Here is what a textured ceiling actually does to a showing. It does not cost you a specific number. It tells a buyer that nothing in this house has been touched since the 80s, and every other thing they look at afterward gets read through that assumption. That framing is the expensive part. Number 4 has quietly become the biggest deal breaker on this list, and it is not about looks at all. It is the age of your roof. And the person objecting is not really the buyer standing in your driveway. It is the buyer's insurance company, which has never seen the house. Carriers have tightened their underwriting on roof age specifically. Somewhere around 15 to 20 years, a roof starts drawing extra scrutiny. Past 20, some carriers want their own inspection, some raise the deductible, and some will simply decline to write the policy. It varies by carrier and by state. That can kill a sale after the offer has been accepted, which is the worst possible moment for it to happen. The buyer is not negotiating over shingles at that point. They are calling around for a policy and discovering that your house is expensive to insure or uninsurable. And this is why it bites so hard right now. The average American home insurance premium hit $2,205 last year. That is up about 9% in a single year and up 107% since 2019. It has more than doubled. Nationally, insurance now runs about 9% of a typical monthly mortgage payment. In Florida and California, it is 15 to 20%. Buyers are not just pricing your finishes anymore. They are pricing what it costs to keep your house every single month. And a tired roof shows up there. Number 5 is that same idea wearing a different hat. 44 out of every 100 homes for sale in America now carry a homeowners association fee. In 2019, that figure was 34 out of 100. This is a structural change, not a blip. The national median fee is $135 a month, which sounds survivable on its own, but a lender counts that against the buyer's debt-to-income ratio exactly like a car payment. So it directly shrinks the size of the house that buyer is allowed to buy. And it is wildly regional. In the Miami metro, the median HOA fee is $617 a month. That is more than a quarter of a typical mortgage payment spent before anybody has turned on a light. For a buyer on the edge of qualifying, that is the whole decision. You cannot fix an HOA fee, obviously. What you can do is stop pretending it is not part of your asking price. Put the real number in the listing, say plainly what it covers, and let buyers run the math in week 1 instead of in the last week before closing. Number 6 is the renovation most likely to actively subtract value from your house: converting the garage. On paper, you added a bedroom, and bedrooms are worth more per square foot than parking spaces. In practice, the appraiser may add nothing at all. It is a real improvement that does not count. An appraiser only counts that space in gross living area if the work was permitted and meets habitability code. Heating, ceiling height, egress windows, insulation. If it was never permitted, it can be assigned 0 value, and some lenders will balk at the loan on the whole property. Meanwhile, you remove the thing buyers in very cold and very hot states genuinely want. If you have already done the conversion, find the permit paperwork before you list. If it does not exist, price the house as though that room is not there, because that is how it will appraise. Number 7, the big dated bathroom and the jetted corner tub that nobody has filled since 2004. The real problem here is not the tub, though. It is that sellers systematically overspend on bathrooms and get back less of that money than almost anywhere else in the house. The Realtors 2025 Remodeling Impact Report puts bathroom renovation cost recovery at 50%. You spend $1, you see about 50 cents of it again at closing. In the Zonda numbers, an upscale bathroom remodel came back at 42%, which is worse. Compare that to a closet renovation at 83%, or that steel front door at 100. If your bathroom is dated, clean it, recalk it, change the lighting and the mirror and the fixtures, and then stop. A full gut job is mostly a gift to the next owner. Number 8 is a straight coin flip that depends entirely on your zip code. A swimming pool typically returns 40 to 60% of what it costs to install. So a $60,000 pool commonly adds $24,000 to $36,000 in value, and sometimes considerably less than that. In Sunbelt markets, where a pool is usable most of the year, the lift can be 10 to 15% of the home's value. In a short-season cold climate, it runs flat to negative because what the buyer sees is a maintenance bill sitting under a leaf-covered cover. If you own one and you are selling somewhere cold, the answer is not to rip it out. That rarely pays either. It is to get the equipment serviced, the liner sound, and the maintenance records ready so the pool reads as handled rather than as an unknown expense. Number 9 costs you nothing to fix, and I think it is the most underrated item on this entire list. It is the words in your own listing. Zillow analyzed more than 2 million homes listed last year, and the language sellers choose tracks hard against what they actually get. Homes described as a fixer-upper sold 14% below their predicted price. Earlier Zillow research found that needs TLC cost top-tier homes nearly 9%, cosmetic costs 7.5%, and even the hopeful word potential was worth about 4% off. Expensive adjectives. The obvious objection is a fair one. A house called a fixer-upper usually does need fixing, so the phrase is not causing that whole 14% by itself. But it does invite every single buyer to open low, and you never find out about the offers you did not get. Number 10 is the one that ties this whole list together. Visible unfinished work, the half-tiled backsplash, the interior door that does not latch, the bathroom fan vented straight into the attic. Buyers do not price those jobs the way that you price them, and that difference is where your money goes. A 2022 Home Advisor survey asked buyers what would stop them cold. 49% said visible exterior damage, 43% said foundation flaws, and 41% said poor quality remodel work, which means bad workmanship scored nearly as high as an actual cracked foundation. Here's the mechanism underneath it. You look at a $200 fix, the buyer looks at an unknown, quietly doubles it in their head, and then starts wondering what else in this house was done the same way. One sloppy, visible job makes everything invisible look suspect. That is also why an inspection-ready house beats a beautiful one in this market. Almost all of a buyer's negotiating leverage comes out of that report. Every item you fix before it gets written down is an item you are not giving money back for later. Fix it first or pay for it twice. So what actually earns money? Zillow's 2026 feature analysis found homes described as turnkey sold about 3% above expectation and remodeled about 2%. Those are not exciting words. They are certain ones. Quartzite countertops scored higher, but that is mostly a signal of expensive houses. Notice what is missing from that list. Nothing on it is a luxury. Turnkey simply means a buyer can move in without opening their wallet again, and in a market where insurance and dues and repairs are all climbing, that is the thing people will actually pay a premium for. So if you are picking one place to start this Saturday, it is not the kitchen, it is the front of your house, the paperwork on your roof, and the 3 small broken things you stopped seeing about 4 years ago. That is the cheap end of this whole list, and be regional about all of it. A pool in Phoenix and a pool in Minneapolis are simply different assets. A garage in a snow state is not the same thing as a garage in a mild one. Ask a local agent what your particular market punishes, because the national averages hide that. The pattern under all 10 of these is the same. Buyers in 2026 are not shopping for a dream house so much as underwriting a monthly cost. The seller who wins is not the one with the newest kitchen. It is the one who left the buyer nothing to worry about.